Hello, friends at First Presbyterian. My name is Kelli Kennon Lane, and I am the Director of Education at Indian Creek Nature Center. And I am so pleased to be joining you today to close out your speaker series for the Lenten season on the wilderness topic. My talk today is a more condensed version of what we had planned for our in-person gathering, but my goal is just to inspire you to get outside, to appreciate the wilderness that we have in our neighborhoods and in our region, including at Indian Creek Nature Center, so you can enjoy your spring and summer season outdoors, but also have a deeper understanding and appreciation of the wilderness that we have in our area. So without further ado, I'll share my screen with you, and I will walk you through why the wilderness is important, what you can do to begin enjoying wilderness in your area, and some local opportunities to take advantage of. As I said, my name is Kelli Kennon Lane. I'm the Director of Education at Indian Creek Nature Center, and the purpose of our talk today is to listen to, or feel encouraged to listen to, our call to steward the wilderness in our region. I'll be sharing a lot of photos with you and some information, and I want to note that all of the photos that you'll see during this talk were taken by our marketing manager, Liz Zabel, on Nature Center property. So if anything inspires you visually or anything is particularly beautiful that you want to see in real life, you can see that on Indian Creek Nature Center property. A little bit about Indian Creek Nature Center before we get going. It's important to note that we are Iowa's only nonprofit nature center. This means that we receive no governmental funding, no tax dollars. All of our operations, all of our programs, all of our land restoration, everything we do to operate our nature center is in support of donors, corporations, and individuals that come out to our nature center and support our programs and align themselves with our work. So your support of our work day in and day out, including using our trails and enjoying our outdoor classroom, or maybe renting the nature center for your family gathering or a birthday party or a wedding, all supports our mission. In total, we manage just at 500 acres. And that includes the Amazing Space property, which is our new building that we just constructed a few years ago. It includes our barn property, which is just down the road, our original site. The Nature Center was conceived, I guess you would say, in a dairy barn just down the road from Amazing Space in the early 70s. And it also includes Etzel Sugar Grove Farm, which is located between Albernet and Marion. On our Amazing Space property, we have 5 miles of trails for you to enjoy sunup to sundown, 365 days a year. Even in times like these where social distancing is encouraged, you can get outside and enjoy our trails at a safe distance and being respectful of other hikers. What's important to note about our building, and something that is very rare in our region, let alone the United States, is we are living building pedal certified. And what that means is the certification takes us to a level of environmental stewardship and eco-consciousness unheard of before, essentially. What used to be the highest level of certification was LEED or LEED Platinum. Living building certification is a step above that. There are several tenets that make a living building pedal certification honorable, and we are one of about 30 in the world to receive this level of certification for our building. So when we open back up later this spring or early summer, and our building is open to the public after everything is safe and everyone is well, we encourage you to interact with our building, ask for a tour, bring your family or bring your friends, and we would love to show you around. Our bread and butter, so to speak, the reason why we exist is we create champions of nature, and we do that through education and inspiration. We are an environmental and conservation education nonprofit, and that takes a variety of forms. You may come out to the Nature Center on a Tuesday night this summer and do yoga on our patio, or maybe you send a child to a summer camp, or take advantage of one of our public programs, or attend a rental that a family or friend is having at the Nature Center. All of those things align back to our mission to create champions of nature. And our hope is that you engage with us once, you get hooked with what we do and what our mission is, and then you return for that more immersive environmental or conservation education. We have a responsibility, though, outside of just those of us who work at the Nature Center or volunteer at Indian Creek Nature Center or support the Nature Center. We as Cedar Rapidians, Iowans, Americans, have a responsibility to protect wilderness areas. It is our call. It is something that has been bestowed upon us, not for ourselves, but for generations to come. I would encourage you to look up, there is a seventh generation principle. It's a Native American principle that says we have a responsibility to steward the earth for the next 7 generations that come after us. And I encourage you to look that up when you have a moment, but this is something that crosses generations, crosses cultural boundaries, crosses economic or socioeconomic boundaries. This is a universal principle that we should be applying. Why is this important? Because if we don't, who will? If we don't steward our wild areas, if we don't steward the flora and the fauna and the habitats in our own backyard and in our own park and in our own region, who will? This is a crucial point in our history where we no longer can say, well, those folks that volunteer and work at Indian Creek Nature Center, they're doing a great job of stewarding our wilderness. That's true. And that's right. And we need to take it a step further. Another thing that is important to note is Iowa has 36 million acres of land. Our state is not the largest by any means, but 36 million acres. 30,563,878 of those acres are used for farming. That's incredible. Iowa ranks 49th in our country in the amount of public land that is owned by federal, state, and local governments. Public land that's available for all citizens in a variety of contexts. That's why it's important. That's why it's important, friends. So what should I do? That might be what you're asking yourself or what you're asking me, Kelly. What should I do? Why? What next? Get outside. And you can start from your chair indoors. For example, if you can come to Indian Creek Nature Center and participate in our winter Project Feeder Watch and just learn about and appreciate the birds that come to our bird feeders, that is stewarding your environment. That is stewarding your wilderness through us, using us as your catalyst. That's where you start. Become a birder in your own backyard. Have dinner with your family in your own backyard. Take a picnic to your neighborhood park. Your first step can be small. It should be small because you're modeling then for the young people that you surround yourself with. You're modeling that appropriate behavior to just start small and get outside in whatever way is accessible to you, especially in times like these where a vacation to a national park just isn't possible. Next, begin using the wilderness that is near you. Go to your local park. Go to a county park. Go to a state park nearby. Palisades Kepler is beautiful, especially in the spring. Come to Indian Creek Nature Center. Take a hike around 2 of our wetlands, McCarty Wetland pictured here, or Lynch Wetland, which is just across the road near the tracks. There's a few shelters that you can enjoy and sit under if the weather is a little drizzly. Using the wilderness near you, putting your feet on that land, that shows not only the people that steward that land and manage it, but the people that live in your community that you care about this property because you're using it. It's important to you. You want to access it. We also have, as part of our property, it's connected to our Amazing Space campus, a parcel of land that we call Vietchny Woods. It is unspoiled wilderness and it's waiting for you. The purpose of Vietchny Woods is we wanted to give visitors and our community an area that is as close to backcountry backcountry hiking and backcountry exploration as possible. So Vietchny Woods, there is a rock placard that notes the entrance to the woods, is not marked with trails. So intentionally, you can get that immersive, extensive wilderness experience. We would be happy to show you how to get to Vietchny Woods, because from the road, you may not even know it's there, and it's that amazing. The Nature Center also boasts opportunity to enjoy the wilderness in all weather. Our naturalists have a saying, and it goes, "There is no bad weather, only bad clothing." Sometimes we add only bad clothing and bad attitudes. So wear the appropriate clothing for the season, bring your positive attitude, and you can enjoy our 500 acres and our 5 miles of trails all season long. This is especially important for children, like the children that you see here, pictured on a winter fun day just this winter a few months ago. These children are our next generation of environmental stewards, and their parents entrusted us to take them on a day of winter exploration where they got to sled down a hill without a sled. They got to hike our trails in the wintertime. They got to work up a sweat in the winter and get dirty and just have a great time in the winter. Some of these children don't have these natural experiences in their backyard or in their neighborhood, so it's so important that their parents chose to bring them to us for the day. It's also important to note, since the early 1800s, when Iowa was being settled, we have lost so much of our natural habitats and so much of our natural landscape. For example, we've lost 99.9% of our prairies. Indian Creek Nature Center has prairies. We've lost 98% of our wetlands. We have 2. We have lost 80% of our woodlands. Most of our trails go through woodlands. 50% of our topsoil is gone. Etzel Sugar Grove Farm is attempting to remedy that. And more than 100 species of wildlife from Iowa no longer exist in the area, and that's incredible. We've also seen a significant deterioration of the quality of our surface and groundwaters. All of these things are why it's important to protect wilderness and to get outside and enjoy the wilderness that we still have. All Iowa ecosystems are important. All of those that we listed. None is more important than the other. This includes the woodlands. This includes our wetlands. This includes our prairie. We want you to enjoy all of them. And when you do, bring others along with you. Of course, you are welcome to come out alone for a moment of solitude, but bring others with you. Bring a neighbor, bring a friend, bring the children that you have in your life. Right now, maybe just bring the people in your household to make sure that we practice social distancing and we practice safe etiquette on our trails. But bring the members of your household with you this spring and enjoy our trails. Enjoy Founder's Grove, pictured here in winter. Explore the Nature Center. We have the wilderness for you, but there's also wilderness all around you, including in your own backyard. At Indian Creek Nature Center, yes, you can come and hike our trails for free, sun up to sundown. You don't even have to check in at the building, just hit the trails. But we also have opportunities for you to come alongside us and learn how to live lighter on the earth. We have features like rain chains and biophilic design that make your home more sustainable, but also more beautiful. We use things like permeable pavers, bioswales, and rain gardens to manage water on our property. We also teach environmental conservation and outdoor education. For example, pictured here are photos from our honey harvest and our beekeeping series last year, which is just ramping up for the season. This is just one of dozens and dozens of opportunities to learn in a formal programmatic or classroom setting at the Nature Center. We also have special events throughout the year, including our Maple Syrup Festival, which has been postponed to June, and Women in Nature, which has been postponed to October. We have just a variety of special events and programs that are hands-on, like learning how to prairie burn, which you can do in the fall, or bring a group out to the Nature Center and go on a special tour. They're all hands-on and they're all a fun opportunity as well. You can also protect and steward the wilderness literally by volunteering with us. You can bring your group out to volunteer on the land with our land team under the direction of our land stewardship director. You can bring your family to volunteer at a special event like Maple Syrup Festival or the Plant and Art Sale or any one of our events or programs that we have throughout the year. Our volunteer coordinator, Rachel Bailey, would be happy to connect you with the perfect opportunity. This is all stewarding the wilderness that we have here in our area. You can also learn about Iowa flora and fauna with our two naturalists, Emily and Andrea. They are truly amazing and brilliant in their own rights, and they are great at imparting that wisdom on others. Like I said, we encourage you to get outside in all weather because the more you connect with the earth, the stronger ownership you have of it. And that's for people of all ages and abilities. So like I said earlier, we create champions of nature through education and inspiration. That's our mission. That's what we do. Our goal is that if this mission is true in your heart, you create a champion of nature. You encourage others to get out into the wilderness and protect it and inspire and be inspired by it just as much as you are. So come visit us. You can hike our trails and enjoy our property even today, even now. Practice appropriate trail etiquette, practice appropriate social distancing, only gather with the members of your household, but enjoy those 500 acres, enjoy those 5 miles of trails. Perhaps pray and meditate in our prairie labyrinth, enjoy the wildflowers that start to bloom this spring, just enjoy the sights that you see around you. We're just a short drive away from Mount Vernon Road, very close to downtown Cedar Rapids, but you truly feel like you are in the wilderness. And if coming to the Nature Center isn't in the cards for you right now, we encourage you to experience the nature that you have in your own backyard. Pull out your lawn chair, pull out your hammock, roll out your yoga mat, set out a beach towel, and breathe in the clean, crisp, pure air this spring in your own backyard. Listen to the birds that you hear in your own backyard. You can begin to steward the environment by stewarding the property that you have. Thank you so much for joining me for this very brief talk. I would love to connect with you personally if you have any questions, if you want to schedule a tour later this spring or summer, if you want to register for any of our programs, please call us. All of our information is found on our website, IndianCreekNatureCenter.org. You can, we are still checking voicemails and taking calls remotely during this time, but you can also send us an email or register for a variety of our programs online. Including summer camps for the youngest ones in your life. So let's connect, let's stay in touch. My favorite part about giving these talks in person is making these personal connections. So I hope to see you soon. I hope that we can meet face to face and enjoy the wilderness together. Have a fantastic day.